This PHC wrap-up show from the 2022 NCHA Metallic Cat Futurity is proudly presented by Foresight.
Hi everybody, welcome to day 14 of the NCHA Metallic Cat Futurity. Joined today with Mr. Bradey Davis. Bradey, welcome.
Hey, glad to be here.
Well, we are halfway through this show.
Halfway.
We are there. We've gotten through the open first and second go rounds. We've done some finals already with the intermediates and the limiteds.
Yep.
We are now into the non-pros. We just completed day 3 yesterday of the non-pro first go round. And boy, it was a day, every day was different. The cattle, I mean, it started out pretty positive, and then like we had some weather move in, we had some rain come in, and the cattle kind of weren't as good.
Yeah, actually all 3 days the weather was pretty nasty,
yeah.
You know, and so at least it was consistent, but it didn't make the cows any better.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and it ended up taking a 206, so not quite as much as what some people predicted at the start.
But last year it took a 209.
209 last year, so just a little bit below that. The leaders in that one, Kathleen Moore was the first one to post a 221 aboard Lizzie's Vixens. It's a Sandman out of My Stylish Lizzie. Obviously that mare needs no introduction.
No.
Bred by Ray Brazell. And then Ryan Rapp came through, I think on the second day on Make Him a Believer, also scoring a 221 on Don't Stop Believing out of Look at Me Bucky. And that one is a homebred Rapp Ranch unit, and Look at Me Bucky actually belonged to Waco Bend Ranch, Phil was telling me. And so the grandkids out there at Waco Bend Ranch named that horse. They were out there, and she was a weanling. And they used to call Mr. Lewis Baldwin Bucky, so they were out there, and look at me, Bucky, and the name kind of stuck. So
kind of a cool story.
Fun fact on that one.
Yeah.
So those two lead the non-pro right now. Like I said, a 206 to advance in that one. And then in the intermediate, John Kratzer on Spending the Cash had a great run yesterday, 219 and a half. And that one's a Raising the Cash out of Peptastic, homebred, another homebred one by Cows and Horses, etc. I mean, what a run for John. It's been quite a year for him already.
He's had a pretty good year, and he's got a really good 3-year-old too.
Yeah, yeah, and obviously he's got Metallic's MVP in the World Finals right now and got the Open Championship sewn up. We'll go into that in more detail here in just a little bit. In the limited, George Bongiorno on Rocky Boone Boa. That's a Boone Too Soon out of Doolan Catalina, bred by Peter DeLue, 218 and a half. Cullen stopped by this morning and told us a little fun story about that one.
Yeah, he kind of gave us a cool story. We don't know much about him, but he's a cowboy from the Northeast and does his own training and must do a really good job.
Yeah, I think he's up in Connecticut. He used to work for Clint Allen years ago and then moved back around about the same time as R.L. and Cullen came down here, and he's just kind of been doing his own training up there. Has no cattle up there, so he's working probably kids, flags, machines,
whatever will work his horse. Yeah,
chickens, goats,
yeah.
You know, whatever. So, but he's leading the limited right now with a 218 and a half. So, it's been a good show so far.
Yeah, the Futurity never disappoints, I don't think. You know, and every year you think you know what the best horses are, and then someone throws their hand down, and you're like, what is that?
Yeah.
You know, and then that's, you know, a lot of horses get famous here.
Yeah, we've said it time and time again, it's the most level playing field. You don't know where the next superstar is going to come from, and some of the ones with all the hype that come in maybe don't quite perform, and there's other ones that are sleepers that come in and just, I mean, it's like they change, you know.
Well, there's a lot to be said about a show horse, and we all think they're going to be a show horse when we leave the pre-work and head this away, but until you put your hand down, you don't really know what you have, and some horses just rise when the bright lights turn on, you know, and so it's a good thing as a trainer when you feel that horse take over, like, hey, I got a show horse.
Yeah. Well, it gives you some confidence. I know I had horses that were always either better at home and didn't maybe quite show as good, and I've had other ones that didn't work as good at home, and you know, they'd show good, and that actually helped you. You know, when you didn't have a good work on them, you just kind of trusted what had happened before. So, you know, maybe that'll be how some of those turn out as well. So now that we've advanced to the second go-around, which is going on right now, in the limited, 50 riders advanced to that second go-around. They're going to be taking 19 to the finals in that one. And then in the intermediate, 141 intermediates advanced to the second go, 25 to the finals in that one. The non-pro, there was 199 to the second go. There'll be 60 out of this second go-around that go to the semis, and then they're going to take 20 plus ties to the finals. Yep. It's coming down to crunch time.
Oh yeah. You know, but there's a lot of good horses, and quite a few of these, or a handful of these, even made the Open semifinals.
Yeah.
So they've already got a few extra runs in there, feeling really solid, so they're going to do well.
Yeah, and some with the same riders. I mean, Ali Good, Beth Rocky, Ryan Rapp, they've all had runs on these horses now, so they're maybe got a little bit of an advantage in that side of things, kind of knowing what their horse has been like. And
not just runs, but good runs, high quality runs.
Yeah. Let's talk about some of the sires and the dams and the people that are doing good. So the top sire is obviously Stevie Ray Vaughan. I mean, there's a gazillion of them in here. But he's got 32 advancing to the second go-around of the non-pro. Got quite a bigger lead, more numbers than most of the other studs. But Hottish sitting second right now. He's got 18 coming back to the second go-around. Raising the Cash has 14, Metallic Rebel 11, and then we've got Metallic Cat and Don't Stop Believing both with 10. So a lot of familiar names there.
Yes, sir, but like you said before, Stevie Ray Vaughan has really just taken over this Futurity, and there's been a pile of them, but there's been a lot of really good ones.
Yeah. And then also, I mean, a lot of people say, well, you're always talking about the sires. You're always, mentioning the sires, but the dams obviously maybe more important, part of the equation.
Mare power. Mare power goes a long way.
So there are 14 mares, dams that have multiple horses in the second go-around. And so Bittersweet, Button Down Supercat, China, Flow Dancing with Ray, Little Lena Longlegs, Little Lacey, Metallic Barbie, Miss Savannah Itchy, Mom Stylish Babe, Pink Caddy, She's Sensational, SVR Sweetness, Sweet E Emotion, and Wicked Wonder Ray. These are all names that we're not only going to see in the show pen over there, but in the sale ring next week at Western Bloodstock sales as well.
Very popular names, and there's a bunch of good 2-year-olds out of these mares in the sale this year.
Yeah, they're all very familiar names, and these mares have done it time and time again. Obviously, some of them past champions themselves, like Bittersweet, with the Crown Ranch program. Some of the top breeders advancing to the second go-around with horses in there. So Cowan Ranch, 6 of their horses out of their program are back here to the second go-around. And Crown Ranch with 5 horses. So both those programs well represented. And then we've got about 7 or so with 3, including Beach Fork Ranch, Fultz Ranch, Linda Holmes, Matt and Megan Miller, Rose Valley Ranch, Rusty Cordova, and Slate River Ranch. So those programs are, they continue to shine here at this show. Every year,
and they always come loaded. You know, they have a great breeding program, which helps our sport out tremendously, I think.
Yeah. And then some of the riders we've already mentioned, but we've got 43 non-pro riders that advanced both their horses to the second go, which is pretty impressive. And then, it's going to be exciting to see what the cattle do here the next 2 days, how these rounds advance, and what it's actually going to take to come back.
Well, to me, to be able to get 2 back in the next go-round, especially as tough as the cows were, to have 2 good runs to advance.
It was horses you don't know.
Exactly. Their first, most of the time, unless they showed them the open, it was their first runs.
Yeah, so the non-pros being fun watching, and like I said, it's going on today. We're just about getting ready to start the second set here. How about those World Finals last night, Bradey?
God, that's so much fun. You cram those cows in that water arena with the electric crowd. It's always it's a forced on run most of the time, but it really, the horses in the World Finals are just spectacular.
Well, and so many races. I mean, not necessarily the Open Champion like we mentioned. Tim's already got that wrapped up, but there are so many races this year that are so close. And the non-pro is one of them. It's still wide open. There's not a whole lot of difference separating between Bonnie and Bobby Williamson in there.
Not at all. And like you said before, in the Open, even though it's wrapped up, between 2nd and 15th place is a matter of $18,000.
Yeah.
So I mean, that could happen in a couple nights. We can see the bottom go to the top, and top kind of slide down to the bottom if they have a bad show.
Yeah, this is going to be like shuffling cards, all week. And with it paying over $6,000 a round, we've got 4 rounds plus a pencil final, so there's about $30,000 to be won. Yes. It's anybody's game for that reserve championship in the non-pro or in the Open for sure. And then a lot of those other weekend races that we're going to talk about later next week that are coming up. I mean, we've already mentioned, but some of those are really close, within $100 on some of them. So that's what makes this so fun to watch.
Well, and this year was, I think, a record year. To get into the top 15 in every weekend class was so much higher than years past, especially in the Open. It took, I think, $33,000 just to get into the top 15.
Yeah. And last night in the non-pro, Elizabeth Quirk came out, had the big run of the night with a 227, winning $6,035. And then Miss Bonnie Martin, I mean, she never disappoints, riding Raisin Kittens. What a great horse. 222 last night, winning another $4,828. And then Ali Good, 3rd place, with a 221, winning $3,621 on Catatat Cat.
Oh, and these horses have been good for a really long time. Miss Bonnie's horse, Elizabeth's horse, and even Allie's horse. They've been really good horses, and they've been showing at a high level for years.
Well, and Elizabeth's horse, I know this one's going to be kind of special for her because they've got a special goal with this World Finals. Race Style and Smooth has been such a special horse to that family, and she is now within $12,000, I believe, of going into the Non-Pro Hall of Fame with that horse. So that's pretty impressive. We're going to be cheering for her this week. We'd love to see that horse reach that goal, and I bet it's going to get turned out for a little while.
She's gonna get it done. Excuse me.
Brady's going to have a little coughing fit here while we continue on. In the Open last night, we had Casey Green. Wow, what a run he had. 224.5, winning $6,035, and I'm a Platinum Kitty owned by Bobby Ray and Mary Jo Hawkins.
Oh man, and this has been a good mare for him. He caught her back from Vegas in June, and everywhere he went, I'd look at the standings. Every weekend he won and won and won, and she's just been hot.
Yeah, and it's, Casey's gone a lot this year, but he's been smart. He's been, strategic on where he's gone. He's still done the age events. He's still there to help every amateur in the pen that's been there at these major age events. And that takes quite a bit of doing.
Yeah, and guys 3-year-olds trained to boot.
Yeah, yeah, they're looking good, and he's got some catch riders doing well. Toston Catch Rode one for him, and so they're looking real good. Tim Smith, world champion, 224 last night. He set the stage, first horse out on Metallic's MVP. The Kratzer and the Cows and Horses, Metallic's MVP LLC, they were all over there cheering for him. It was fun. This is kind of a victory lap for Tim, but he wants to have a good showing.
Exactly, but he pretty much showed why he's the champion. I mean, that horse is special, and he showed so good. It just fit.
Yeah. He added another $4,828 to his earnings, and then Toston Peterson came in later in the set, marking a 223, winning $3,621 aboard Tommy Moe. Great to see another Arizona Cowboy doing good.
Yes, sir. And in that pen deep, it's hard to put 3 cows together and to mark that quality score. So, and he's been showing lights out all year long too.
And the cattle were good. I mean, it was a good even set. Both of them. Most of the people got showed. Obviously, there's always some cows in there that are just not going to let you cut them. But that's just part of being in the WAT and part of what can happen over there. And that's going to determine some world championships this week.
Yes, but it's going to be fun watching.
Yeah, for sure. Bradey, we're now getting into the second part of the show. We're halfway, a little over halfway. What's the mood been like down in the arenas now?
I feel like it's pretty positive. The futurity's pretty much upbeat. I know it's stressful, but it's the potential of what's going to happen. Do I have a shot at doing well? My horse has been working good, so I think right now it's pretty positive for everybody. Yeah,
and speaking of positivity, I got up this morning preparing notes for the show today, and had Mr. Shannon Hall on the Horseman for Christ church service this morning over in the Coliseum. And I'll tell you what, if you need some inspiration, you listen to Mr. Shannon Hall do one of his sermons. He is fun to listen to. He speaks from the heart. Very emotional, and I tell you what, it really gets you thinking about things. And speaking of that, what are some of the things that motivate you when you're looking for some extra motivation?
So to me, every morning when I get up, I feel like I've accomplished quite a few things in my short career, but there's so much that I have not even gotten close to touching. And I know we compete against our peers every weekend or every big show, but at the end of the day, it's a competition within yourself to get better than you were the day before. So if I can just get myself and my 2-year-olds, my 3-year-olds, my show horses a little bit better than they were yesterday, I feel like I'm getting closer to that, whatever goal that may be, whether it's win the Futurity or make the World Finals. So every morning when I get up, I'm pretty motivated just to be a little bit better than I was the day before.
I hadn't even thought about being motivated until Jenny Cooper came to work for me, and every day she had something that would just motivate either me or the crew around me. And it's funny how you start thinking about things like that. But like you just said, those big goals, it's a series of steps getting up there. And you got to tackle them one step at a time. And so that's our positive word for today. Bradey, we'll see how this all shakes out. Thanks for watching, everybody. We've got lots of things still coming up here. Don't forget about the PHC HFC Caring Cutters Fund auction that's going on right now. It's on our Facebook page. We've also got some listings on our website. If you can't find them or want to bid on some of the items, give us a call or reach out to us. We'll tell you how to look it up and find it. Lots of other things going on. We've got the sales coming up. We've got the Rap Ranch sale preview coming up starting December 2nd and 3rd. Contact Phil Rapp if you want to get in on that. And it's going to be out at the Rap Ranch. It's been a great time out there. Great way to go out and see these 2-year-olds in a more relaxed environment before they get into the WAT and actually sell under the high pressure situation that they're in there. So lots going on. Stay tuned to CHC Live Scoring. Thanks for watching. Bradey, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, we'll see you all next time.
This PHC wrap-up show from the 2022 NCHA Metallic Cat Futurity is proudly presented by Foresight.